Hello, everyone, and welcome to Armstrong in the Loop podcast. I'm your host, Seth Prentice. Today, I have the pleasure to be joined by a fellow colleague and someone I have looked to for answers for many years, Daneen O'Donnell. Daneen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Seth. It's a pleasure to be here to talk to you today.
Hard to imagine, but Armstrong's Breaking Bread initiative is celebrating 10 years. Daneen, I thought it would be a great way to inform everyone about Breaking Bread and talk about some of the upcoming events planned to help celebrate 10 years. So with that, Daneen, tell us, what is Breaking Bread?
So Breaking Bread is Armstrong's initiative to help feed the hungry in the communities we serve. Our employees work and live, and they're all part of the community, and some of our neighbors may be struggling with hunger, and it's not who you think that's struggling with hunger. It's not people who are being lazy and just don't want to make an effort to pay for their food. It's people who maybe have faced a loss of income, or they've had an illness and someone's not been able to work, or they've just are having a tough time making ends meet. So hunger affects all of us, and I think it's up to all of us to take care of our own neighbors, and that's why Armstrong started this initiative.
I do believe Armstrong does have a four-pronged approach to help to fight hunger. Do you have the four prongs that we can learn more about?
Well, I'm going to tell you about some of the prongs. There are many ways that you can help Breaking Bread. One of them is you can donate. Donate money, donate food. All of our local offices collect food. You can go into a local office. There will be a shopping cart there. You can bring non-perishable items in there and put them in the shopping cart. If you see an Armstrong employee at an event, such as the Butler Home Show, which is coming up in April, any kind of event, all summer long, you'll see Armstrong employees at different events. You can donate at those events. We take monetary donations and we take food, and we will make sure that it gets to a local food bank. We'll take those donations. Second biggest thing that I want to talk about is volunteering. And Seth, as you know, Armstrong is trying to even jumpstart volunteering within our own work community. We've been good at donating, but volunteering sometimes is a little harder. It's very hard to get people out. I like to relate volunteering to going to the gym. Nobody really wants to go. Well, some people, maybe you like to go to the gym, Seth. I think you like to go. But me, I don't like to go to the gym. Once I'm there, it's okay. But I look at volunteering as the same thing. Sometimes it's like, oh, I have to go volunteer tonight. I'm tired. I just don't want to go. But once you're there, it's so rewarding to see the people that you're helping. And I encourage everybody to just make an effort to volunteer. Food banks in all our communities, they serve daily meals. They organize food to send to other organizations. You can help with all of those things. So that's a huge, big thing. One of the other things we do is we get involved in our neighborhoods supporting other people who do Breaking Bread things, such as Stamp Out Hunger, which is coming up. The post office does this every year. This year it's on Saturday, May 9th. And all you need to do is put a couple of canned food items out by your mailbox, and the post office will pick them up. And, it's not a competition thing. We're not competing with the post office how much food we can collect. We want to encourage people to support all kinds of events that are collecting food. So, everything we do, every little bit, it helps.
For sure. And the fourth prong is what I'd like to talk to you about next, which is education. And statistics are something that I love. Can you give us any about hunger in America?
Yes. So as of now, I think that the statistic is there are 40 million people who struggle with some kind of food security, or food insecurity, I should say. And that includes 1 in 6 children who struggle with hunger. And as I said before, it's not always who you think. I know people are embarrassed to ask for help. They're embarrassed to say, I don't have enough to give my family for dinner. So I think that it's our job to educate people and to tell them that these are people who are working very hard and trying to feed their families. It's it's a huge problem, and we need to tell people that this is happening possibly right next door to where you live.
How can people get involved? I know that you've mentioned some of the ways, but are there other additional opportunities that people in the community can help support not only Breaking Bread, but your local food bank?
Well, as I said, volunteering is huge. I know I go volunteer at Katie's Kitchen once a week. It's a place that provides a meal in Butler every Thursday night. Almost every community, if you look, you can find a church or someone who's serving a meal to help the people in the community. They're always looking for help. They need people to help prepare food. They want people to help serve food. They may, I'll use Meals on Wheels. Almost every community has Meals on Wheels. They have these groups of people that come and volunteer, and they make the meal, and they look for people who can deliver the meals. They need transportation. They need there's just never a shortage of what there is to do. All you have to do is reach out and ask. You can go on Armstrong's website or Facebook page. We have a list of some of the food banks in our communities. And if there's one that we don't have on there or missed, you can call and let us know about that, or you can call them directly and find out from them how we can help take care of this problem.
What are some of the items that food banks are needing, especially this time of year when most people aren't thinking to donate? What can people look to help and supply that these food banks might be short on right now, especially?
Yeah, and you've actually made a very good point, because a lot of people tend to give for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then sometimes after the holidays or during the summer, this dies down. So, of course, they look for non-perishable items. Some of the things they look for are like unsweetened applesauce, canned meats that you can use to make a meal with, boxed dinners like hamburger helper, things that you can mix a meat with or make a meal, macaroni and cheese. They look for low sugar cereals, like tuna, chicken, dried fruits, beans. They even look for things like diapers, hygiene items, soaps, toothpaste, cleaning supplies, and many food banks also take pet food, because often families who have a hard time feeding their family members, they also struggle with feeding if they have a pet in the house.
I never thought about that, but that's absolutely true. That's one part that when you go down this road that I'm not sure people are aware of, that mindset of what someone actually needs. And sometimes, it's whatever I have in the cupboard. That's not necessarily true.
Nope.
Got to check those expiration dates. And especially, not all the time does it have to be the item that says the top name brand, but sometimes just a supply of canned goods, it goes a long way.
That's absolutely true, and I really feel like you've done some events in your territory also, your Pizza with a Purpose that you do every year. There's just so many ways to help and so many ways to donate, and each food bank may have a different need. I know at Thanksgiving, people take a lot. They take turkeys. They take, if there are other places that give out things in the summer, like produce to the people, where you can donate produce or help with things like that. So there are ways to get fresh food also. And I should mention also Hunters Sharing the Harvest. For all the hunters out there, there is a website. Hunters Sharing the Harvest is an organization that allows you to donate your deer meat to food banks. And they've served and collected lots of food for food banks through that organization. So as I said, Seth, you can look on our website, or you just need to be proactive about really looking to see. It's not hard to find. You can look on websites and see what churches are serving meals. And I encourage people who are the ones who can't give money and can't give time. Maybe you're the one that needs food at this time. And, like Katie's Kitchen, for instance, when you go in there, you can get loaves of bread. Panera will donate bread and desserts and things like that, because sometimes the restaurant regulations, they have to get things off the shelf. very snap fast.
Right.
And those things can go to food banks. You can get fresh bread and all kinds of things. So, if you need help getting food, then we encourage you to look at the websites also, and we can help you do that.
For sure. So we've gotten through this 10 years, 10 years of helping over 200 food banks in our communities, partnering, donating money. What's coming up that makes this 10th year even more special?
Well, 10 years, we're refocusing again on the importance of supporting this cause. We've never let it slip away, but, we have a lot of other things that we focus on, such as our Healing Heroes and things like that. And so an anniversary is always a great way to reignite the fire under employees and the community, because people may forget, that we do that. I mean, you certainly can't tell because our card is always full in our lobby. But I think there are a lot of things coming up. A lot of our offices will be working with groups in the community. The County of Butler always supports this. They do food drives. We've worked with schools during the year. We'll be working with schools again to maybe raise food for their backpack programs. Another thing we're going to be doing is looking to help families children who go to school who don't have food during the summer. So you may be seeing events pop up in your neighborhoods that help support these kids during the summer. And I think some of those are planned and more to be announced as they come underway. But, I know we'll be... Our focus this year we called Avenge Hunger Month, which kind of came about because we collected food once at one of the Avenger movies, and one of our very creative marketing people designed a healing hero man named Avenge Hunger Man. And so now the month of August becomes, September really, it's the end of August, the month of September, when we are focusing on hunger throughout the community and the world. That is going to be Avenge Hunger Month, and you should see more events focusing on that month and really striving to get people to volunteer and to get people to donate food. So look for Avenge Hunger Month during September. It'll start the end of August, run through the month of September, and end the very first week of October.
Fantastic. And we already mentioned Stamped Out Hunger coming in May.
Yes.
And postcards will not only be in your local mail, but they'll also be at the local Armstrong office. I know a big ask is put it in a bag for the post office so that they can easily pick it up. How else can we find out more information about Breaking Bread, our local food banks, and how people can get involved?
You can go onto our ArmstrongOneWire.com website. You can go to /Breaking Bread or just Google, when they have the search. If you get on our website, you can just search Breaking Bread. And also we have a Facebook page. If you go onto Facebook and you look for Armstrong, under our Armstrong page, there's a link that takes you to Breaking Bread. And you can see what food pantries there are in your community. And as I said, if we're missing one and you want to be on there, please let us know, because we can add you on there. And I think the key is to just, all work together and try to make this problem go away, because really, we have a rich society in general, and there's enough of us that have plenty that no one needs to have nothing. And I just think we all need to work really hard at volunteering and helping to donate to this cause.
Anything else that we might have missed today?
I can't think of anything. I just, am very excited to have talked to you about this, and I love the events that people do. So Armstrong, even if it's not marked as a Breaking Bread event, you can bring a food donation up to that tent or that booth, and we will make sure it gets to where it needs to go.
Well, Daneen, thank you so much, and continue your amazing volunteering, especially you and your office do in Butler County.
Well, Seth, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to seeing how the community supports this during our 10th anniversary.
For Armstrong in the Loop podcast, I'm Seth Prentice, keeping you in the loop. Are you enjoying Armstrong in the Loop podcast? Great news! All past and current episodes are available on popular streaming apps and websites. Search Armstrong in the Loop podcast and subscribe today.
There's so much you can do with technology. It's amazing. Armstrong gives you control of your home network and all the entertainment that makes your world go round. If you need help, we're easy to reach for support, too. Armstrong. Life made easy.